9440. 4405. 944405. 1905.
And welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm John Garlick here with our Chief Deputy Matthew Wade, and we've had another successful week, haven't we, with all the snow and everything?
I like to find something new to say, but I don't think anything beats saying that, hey, another great job.
Another great job. 6 arrests. Where's the count? There it is.
2,974 people arrested, all because you watch this TV show and are willing to get involved. Thank you.
And I think that's great. You know, we have such good citizens here in Calhoun County, and they're working with us. Helping us help them, and so we have to congratulate our citizens. Now, there's other stuff you can do that isn't so smart, like driving and texting.
Driving and texting, something to bring up. Just on the way over here, I saw a woman run a red light. I pulled her over, and she goes, "Well, you know, I was looking at my phone." I said, "Yeah, you know that's kind of illegal, don't you?" So we might could use that for a crazy criminal,
Ooh.
you know. And said, you know, hey, you could have killed somebody, and you know, people tell you that, and you go, well, whatever. Until it happens, you find yourself in a court proceeding, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, or worse. You know, you look down at that phone and you hit somebody, or hit a tree, or swerve into an oncoming car.
I tell that to my daughter all the time, not to be texting and walking. The other day, I think she walked into the door and about gave herself a black eye texting and walking. So you never, it's just not good to do.
We won't tell your daughter you told her about her. That's good. So, we have a big show ahead of us today, and we're going to have more lineups and everything, and some really good guests to talk about all the wonderful things that are going on. So stay with us, and right now, your first half of the lineup.
Every day in America, children are trafficked for sex. In schools, shopping malls, truck stops, clubs, and bars. Think it can't happen in your neighborhood? Think again. If you suspect a child is being trafficked for sex, call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center 24-hour hotline at 1-888-3737-888.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Hi, I'm Crystal Meth. Try me once, I might let you go. But if you try me twice, then I'll own your soul. I take kids from their parents and parents from their kids. I'll take and take until you have no more to give. I'll take everything from you, your looks and your pride. I'll ravage your body and control your mind. Now that you've met me, what will you do? Will you try me or not? It's all up to you.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the Parent Tip of the Week. The battle between parent and teenager is not something new. Being a teenager is an exciting time in your teen's life. This is the time in their life when they start to make their own decisions and discover who they are. Parents can have a hard time adjusting to this stage because they have spent most of their teen's life having to make decisions for them in order to take care of them. Parents are not trying to stop their teens from becoming who they are meant to be. They are simply trying to protect them from dangerous decisions. Generally speaking, parents mean the best when they give their input into their teenagers' decisions. Tip for the teen this week: instead of arguing with them, take the time to consider why they may be warning you against an action. To show your parents that you listen to them when they talk, tell them you'll consider what they say before you make your decision and then do it. Parents, take the time to explain your reason for certain rules and do not be afraid to communicate with your teens. This is setting a precedent for how they will interact with others in their adult life. And remember, while shaping your teens' behaviors, you want to encourage them to learn to think for themselves and to recognize the role they play in their own life success. For more information on this parenting tip or others like this, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, Ricky Bradford. Mr. Bradford, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation, theft of property second, and failure to appear on theft of property first. And this is Huey Haynes. Mr. Haynes, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted on a bond revocation for receiving stolen property second, and probation violation on unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. And take a look at La Quinta Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, last known to be living in East Taboga, he's wanted on bond revocations for obstruction of justice using a false ID, possession of marijuana first, possession and receipt of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And this is Sandra Lloyd. Miss Lloyd, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for violation of a court order on theft of property first. And meet Bridget Fraser. Miss Fraser, last known to be living in Oxford, she's wanted for failure to appear on receiving stolen property first, possession of a forged instrument second, and delivery and sale of drug paraphernalia and escape second. And meet Andre Bailey. Mr. Bailey, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first, ×2. And here is Derek Matthews. Mr. Matthews, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first and a DUI. And last up for our first half, Stephen Pike. Mr. Pike, last known to be living in Alexandria, he's wanted for failure to appear on fraudulent use of a credit card ×3. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you looked at somebody there and recognized them. And if you did, please call us because, you call, we'll haul.
Absolutely. Every once in a while we'll get somebody that's upset that their loved one's on there. So we know that people look at it and we appreciate it. And if you saw somebody you could always call Crime Stoppers. And if tell us and we find them, you can get a reward up to $1,000.
That's right. But right now, we want you to meet some people you may not know. We have Debbie Michelson and Amber Sanders from the courthouse. And welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
And so you're going to talk to us about all kinds of wonderful services we have at the courthouse, victims services and things like that. So why don't you just tell us what you got?
You want to go first? Okay. Well, I'm Debbie Michelson. She's Amber. And I have, for the past almost 11 years, been working with victim services for the district attorney's office, which means basically from the time a crime takes place until we're through with the court, and oftentimes even past that, we help the victims know what to expect, basically, and just bring a level of comfort to the victims who don't know what's coming next. And I'm sort of semi-retired, working a couple of days a week, and Amber is offering victim services on a daily basis, and so I think she wants to talk about some new programs we have going on. I have, for the past 10 years, had a homicide support group for people who've had a family member murdered, and Amber has helped to start a new support group for not only murder victims' families, but victims of other violent crimes. So I think she wants to talk a little bit about that and what's going on with that.
Well, and it's important because victims of crime, of course, they're the victim of the crime that happened, but then they have to come back into the legal process and come into court where that whole event gets replayed, and oftentimes they feel re-victimized. Things don't go the way they think they should go or that they want it to go. They're there in a courtroom with family members of the defendant, and it's a harrowing experience, I'm sure.
And I think over the years I've come to find out that not only law enforcement really appreciate us, because you have to concentrate on the criminal and the case, and then the district attorneys appreciate us because they have to concentrate on prosecuting. So we kind of work as a buffer there.
Well, it's good. It's very important too. So you have the victims of homicide group, mm-hmm. and then you have the
Vocal.
Vocal.
We have Vocal, and I work at the Calhoun County District Attorney's Courthouse for Brian McVeigh, and we have a group called Mount Cheehaw Vocal, and Richard Miner from St. Clair County and Brian McVeigh from Calhoun County, they have kind of started this on board with us to begin this program in our county, and it was developed in 1982. It's a nonprofit organization. What the group is to do is to educate, have advocacy for crime prevention, and just to help in different ways. You can become a member. It's $25 and then $50 for a family or for a group. And what we want to do is offer assistance as long as the crime is in place, and sometimes even after, like Debbie was saying, because you have counseling that a victim may need, and it's any type of crime, which could be rape, robbery, families of murdered victims. So there is no one category. Vocal is any type of crime that has occurred. They've provided counseling and therapy and funeral arrangements. They also have a state crime victimization compensation that after a crime has been committed, they can get money to help with the funeral or a crime scene cleanup, different avenues that way that can be offered.
A lot of people don't realize that crime occurs in their house, something horrific, that law enforcement, we're not crime, we can't clean that up, and then a lot of times they're left going, what do I do with this? How do I fix this? How do I clean this up? What's the next step? And
that's a free service they offer, the crime scene cleanup.
Well, it's not only that, it's
By
just
professionals.
having somebody there that says, hey, this is where you can go, this is where you can get your help. It don't have to be murder or rape to be traumatic. Right. My wife, a couple of years ago, we were in Walmart in Eufaula, and somebody stole her wallet, and it was a big to-do. She caught them in the process, and I was another part of the store called, and it ended up being a big to-do. But still, that just to her was a big deal.
Oh yeah, people are victimized every day, and most people have been victimized. And I think just getting the victim assistance, victim advocacy, and education out there for the community to know that there is a group, and it's called Mount Cheehaw, that victims can come to, and we offer a meeting every other month at 5:30 at the Calhoun County Courthouse, and victims just meet together. We have speakers that come, all different types of speakers, from counselors to district attorneys to people coming from prisons, any type of persons that can bring a little bit of ease to these victims. We want to do and to include, and that brings me to a candlelight vigil that Vocal is.
And we'll talk about that when we come back from our break, so stay with us.
Child sexual abuse is hard to talk about. Most children won't. So we have to. If you suspect a child is a victim of sexual abuse, find out how you can help. Call the 24-hour Child Help Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD. That's 1-800-422-4453.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead,
drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch,
like me.
I once was.
homeless,
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Mom!
I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Emerson. Don't risk your life and the lives of others by texting while driving. Put the phone down or safely pull over. Looking down for 1 second is all it really takes. Is it really worth it?
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up, this half, Jimmy Fox Jr. Mr. Fox, last known to be living in Anniston, wanted for probation violation, possession, and receipt of a controlled substance. And this is Jason Kuykendall. Mr. Kuykendall, last known to be living in Foley. He's wanted for probation violation on burglary third. And take a look at Quindarius Taylor. Mr. Taylor, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And here is Michael Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell, last known to be living in Talladega. He's wanted for failure to pay child support. And here is Brandy Hoffman. Miss Hoffman, last known to be living in Alexandria. She's wanted for failure to pay child support, a deadbeat mom. And meet Daniel Calhoun. Mr. Calhoun, last known to be living in Oxford, another deadbeat dad. He owes child support. And last up this week, Brandon Free. Mr. Free, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for failure to pay child support. We end with the face of a deadbeat dad. And that's our lineup this week. If you have any information on these folks, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers 256-238-1414. And welcome back. You had the second half of our lineup there. We hope you recognize some folks there. But right now we're back with Debbie Michelson and Amber Sanders talking about victims' rights groups and how to help victims. It's a stressful thing. You've had a crime committed, you're a victim, and now you have to go through the whole process. And they've got all kinds of stuff on their minds, and they come to you guys looking for help and guidance, and you're there to really calm them down, right?
Well, and I tell the story. Several years ago, I was walking into my office and an investigator was walking out of my office, and I said, "Did you need something?" And he said, "No, I got what I needed." And he had gotten a stack of my cards. He said, "I hand these out like candy," because he goes to a crime scene and there's a victim who says, "What happens now?" And he says, "Here, call Debbie tomorrow." And so it's a way to offer a little bit of assurance to a victim that you're going to be taken care of. Not that it's necessarily going to be okay, but that you'll be taken care of. And I tell people I can't change anything that's already happened, but I can try to make it easier for you as we go forward.
Well, it's a scary experience. And,
yes.
and Matthew, before we had these groups, what was it like for the victim?
Well, law enforcement arrested them, the victim, and then these victims would get a call saying, "Hey, we got the guy or the girl." What happens next? Well, you'll get something in the mail telling you when to be at court.
Yep.
And like, I can just imagine the questions they'd ask. What's going to happen? What when I show up to court, is that the trial? Well, no, that's not the trial. This is the first part. Most people don't understand every part of the legal system. I'd say many don't understand the legal system, and having somebody going, "This is what that is," I can just imagine would be one of the major questions that you get asked.
And one of the things too, in my years there, we've had more than I like to think about, murders in particular, where the murderer was killed or killed himself or something happened, and so there's nobody in law enforcement to deal with those people other than me. And so I get to deal with them and help them with funeral arrangements, whatever they may need, because there's never going to be a trial, there's never going to be a court case. And
no closure.
No closure.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what we see a lot with school shootings, where these people go into schools and they end up killing themselves at the end. It really leaves no room for closure.
And that's what Vocal steps in. I mean, it is a group where there can be counseling, there can be intervention. We have community resource referrals. We'll go to probation hearings with the victim, because oftentimes the victims, once a crime has occurred and we're contacted, we get all their information, we go through the steps with them. We go to the preliminary hearings, and they don't know, most of the time what exactly each hearing is, and we reassure them that we're there for them. We will be with them every step of the way, even all the way up to trial, and even after the trial process, when there is probation of pardon and parole comes up, we are there through the whole time. And they often feel re-victimized because there are so many steps and so many procedures
The judge gave him 20 years. It's only been 3. Why is he talking about letting him out of that's discouraging to law enforcement, but I could just imagine if he was a victim of a crime. The judge said 20, it's been 3 years.
And that's when we have vocal to take place, where every other month at 5:30, you can contact me at the DA's office or Debbie, and we can get a letter sent out to the victims or victims' families or anybody that want to support. We're going to start having classes for law enforcement to come in, and just to educate everybody that there are different programs and support that people can get in Calhoun, Cleburne, and St. Clair counties.
So you have an event coming up, though.
We do.
Yeah. So tell us about that.
We have a candlelight vigil. We have our Mount Cheehaw group. Our president is Millie Baker. Debbie is our board member, and she's a big help. And Teresa Lackey does treasurer. And we have a few new ones coming up who are going to join us, the VSO from St. Clair County. And we are gathering a candlelight vigil on the 7th of April, which is during Alabama's National Crime Victimization Week. We are in the process. Luther Strange is going to give me the okay for sure if he's going to be able to attend on the 7th. So he will be a guest speaker. And we just, it's a candlelight vigil is for the remembrance to let the victims and those that have been victimized, that have lost loved ones, know that their light still shines on. And we'll have it at Zen Park in Anniston on the 7th.
April 7th, Zen Park in Anniston. What time?
5:30.
5:30. And for more information, they can go where?
They can go to District Attorney Brian McVeigh, districtattorney.com, and then they can also call the District Attorney's office and ask to speak to Amber or Debbie.
And what's that number?
231-1770.
Very good. Well, we really appreciate you coming on today to share all that wonderful information.
Thank you for having us.
And we hope that if you are ever a victim of crime, we hope that you aren't, but if you are, these are the lovely ladies to call, and they will have your back all the way through the process and then some. But for right now, stay with us. We'll have our crazy criminal when we get back, and you have your caseload to look at. So see you in just a minute.
More than half of kids 12 to 17 years old have personal web pages, videos, or blogs. It's called social networking. As a parent, you should be monitoring your child's web pages. Find out the name of their site and go to it at least 3 times a week. Check for inappropriate material, for pictures, comments, and messages. Make sure your child doesn't post their personal information. Software is available to help you monitor your child's internet use. I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Amerson. For more information, log on to our website or call the number on your screen.
A lifetime of savings can disappear overnight. Millions of dollars are stolen every day from unsuspecting older adults by family members, caregivers, and trusted professionals. If you suspect financial exploitation, call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116 or go online to the National Adult Protective Services Association to be connected with help in your area.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead,
drug addict, alcoholic,
meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was.
homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
But now I am.
sober,
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Being with you was a blast. Our future together was looking pretty good. We had some great times. Everything was going so great. But you made a stupid choice that killed our relationship. I'm gonna miss you.
His choice was to drink and then drive. Underage drinking can cost you your freedom. Drinking and driving can cost you your future. There is no future with alcohol.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. First up on your caseload this week, sometime between February 10th and 11th, an Origin Black F650 rollback wrecker was stolen from this business located on Highway 431 in Alexandria. And here, between February 10th and February 11th, a horse trailer was stolen from this business on Highway 144 in Alexandria. And last up on your caseload, between February 10th and 11th, this residence on Riddle Farm Road in Anniston was broken into. They got away with a cedar chest, assorted blankets, and electronics were stolen from there. If you have any information on these cases, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Welcome back. We hope you looked at the caseload this week, and if you see anything there, please call Crime Stoppers. We need your help solving those cases. But normally Chris Wright is here and he digs into his magic box of crazy criminals, but this week that fell to Matthew.
I got a pretty good one. Woman in Michigan on February the 7th had called 911 about 3 or 4 times, and at one point she kept calling and hanging up, and at one point she asked for medical help and then canceled it, so that alerts us that, hey, is she okay? Is she safe? Well, then she calls back and says, hey, don't worry about it. I've just been drinking with my family playing board games. We're playing Clue. Guess where I am? And she hangs up on them. Bad choice. We are law enforcement. We can't investigate crimes. We used her telephone call as a clue, and they went and found her, arrested her for misuse of the 911 system, and took her to jail. So I imagine when she sobered up, she probably thought that wasn't a good idea, but it was probably pretty funny at the time.
Yeah, call 911. We're pretty good at hide and seek.
We are pretty good at hide and seek. And, we do need help from time to again, and that's where y'all come into play with the most wanted. But you call us and leave a clue, we'll come and get you. But she did. She called them and said, I've been drinking with my family. We're playing board games. We're playing Clue. Won't you try to find me? And she hangs up on them, and a few minutes later they come and get her.
Give us a clue.
Give us a clue.
Oh my goodness. Well, had a good show. We learned about if you're a victim of a crime, who you can call at the courthouse and get some good information there. We got some events coming up. We hope you looked at the lineup and have made notes. Yeah, that person, I know that person. Hey, that guy went out with my daughter. We need to know. So give us a call on all that stuff. We appreciate you being with us this week. We hope to see you next week, but hopefully not in the lineup.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Looking for a new or used vehicle? AOD Federal Credit Union can help. We offer low interest rates and financing terms to work with your budget. We can save you time and money, whether it's at one of our convenient office locations or through one of our participating dealers. Visit an office, call, or head to AODFCU.com to get your best deal now. Low auto loan rates, always at AOD Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions may apply. To obtain additional details and cost information, call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
More than half of kids 12 to 17 years old have personal web pages, videos, or blogs. It's called social networking. As a parent, you should be monitoring your child's web pages. Find out the name of their site and go to it at least 3 times a week. Check for inappropriate material, for pictures, comments, and messages. Make sure your child doesn't post their personal information. Software is available to help you monitor your child's internet use. I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Amerson. For more information, log on to our website or call the number on your screen.